It's time to get down to business. We both went on vacations recently and missed the release of Riders Republic's Summer Break, but we've now had a week to play it and form our own opinions, so stick around because that discussion is coming up right after news. Welcome back to the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
A light news week, but we do have updates on TFG Director Mode. That will be our Riders Republic edit competition. The submissions will be due Sunday, September 18th. The video can be 1 minute 15 to 1 minute 45. You can use any song as long as you don't get the video taken down from YouTube, essentially. So it's fine if the money is taken, but the video has to stay up, viewable worldwide, and it does have to be all you in the video. Just throwing that out from people like Toon Squad, where you have multiple members in a video. We love those. Might do one in the future, but this one is just your clips and your edits. So we can't wait to see. I'll have the website up and the rules right now.
All right, so like we set up on the intro, we've had a full week now to dissect and get into this game and figure out how this new season is operating in the hills of Riders Republic. So we talked about Project Rebirth last week. Mitch and I missed the event on July 30th where you could plant seeds and join the march, but we were able to collect seeds and get some of those in-game items, those limited editions for Project Rebirth, which my character is still wearing. I love the green of that shirt. Anyway, if you come back this week into the game and go back to the Rebirth area, you will see that things are finally planted. All of those seeds that you picked up are tiny little saplings now, and we have a brand new juniper tree at the top of that mountain there. Lil Juju. Loved going back and seeing all of that activity, little dynamic growth. You know, we did it. Yay. And Mitch and I were talking while we were both chasing those seeds before last week's episode. We stumbled across some massive ramps, like just massive, like canyon jumper quality ramps with huge speed boosts. And we had no idea, like they were just planted there. Little did we know that was the new mass race.
Yeah, it's part of the new map, which they have Desert Bloom Rebirth. I was finally lucky enough to play it twice the past 2 days, but when we played together last time, we didn't time it right with the mass races. And I really like the course so far. It reminds me of that one, I think Canyon Storm, where it's going through the desert, lots of winding paths. This one has a little bit less. There's a couple branch paths, some speed boosts along the way, and it is only bike and then jumbo bike and then back to bikes. You're not doing any wingsuiting, no skiing, obviously, because it's in the desert. That would be a brutally slow mass race if they just threw that in there.
Yeah, right.
But I kind of like the mass races on bikes because you get to use that sprint feature too. So there's a little bit more where you have to try and time that out. And I just, find it to be a really fun map so far.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, the scenery, you just could not beat it. And those boosts, like I said, the jumps were a blast. I love going fast and I love going really high. You know, the basics of extreme sports. I love speed. I love height. I love the threat of crashing and losing it all. But those boosts leading up to that, something that we have not really seen in the game. There have been a couple mass races that have used boost pads. I can't think of it right now, but there's one that starts with the snowboard or the ski, the snow sports. And towards the end, you come back to snow sports and you start hitting boosts again. One of the first mass races that's been here since the beginning, and it hurts me that I can't remember the name of it. But I really like just how obvious, that adds that arcadey element, that adds, hey, it looks gorgeous, it's hyper realistic, but also here are these speed boosts that are just going to send you to Kingdom Come. I really like this one. It was very tame, very enjoyable, not as white knuckle clenched as some of them have been.
Yeah, I didn't get to test any of the limited time ones either, like the Ghost Mass Race or the Fixed Gear. I don't know if those are still out. But after playing this map, especially with some of the wider areas and a lot of ramps, the next test mass race needs to be one where when you pull off tricks, you get speed boost back in the air.
Yes.
There needs to be, in a game like this, there needs to be a mass race where you gain something by doing cool tricks while you're in the air. So not everyone's just kind of flying, trying to ride little, like low, ride it as best as they can, but just, keeping in the air. I still do tricks because I like watching them essentially, but sometimes messes with the landing. So if they could reward you and fill up your boost, maybe, I don't know, like for every 1,000, it goes up a 20th or something. Just so if you pull off a massive trick and land it perfectly, like you get the golden speed boost for a bit.
Yeah.
Something like that would just make it such a cool race.
Yeah, you throw that tier list on there, good, great, awesome, legendary. Yeah. And those are all different lengths of speeds or just velocity. It could be each a 1 second boost, but how heavy is that boost going to affect your game? You were saying that you still love pulling off tricks. That throws me back to Road to the Olympics in Steep, where we had snowboard cross in the Olympics. And it was a completely different system where we were all ready to throw these jumps. And no, that's the exact opposite of what you needed to do. You needed to stay low to the ground. You needed to stay as low to the jump as possible to get as much time on the ground as you could. But yeah, I do agree that in a game that it's not forcing you to run those speed routes, you obviously can, but being rewarded for doing something kooky crazy in the middle of a race would be wonderful. That's a spot on recommendation for the next timed event. I want to also talk about leaderboards. Now, granted, let's pause right there. We are going to hopefully have someone on, a special guest, next week. It's not signed yet. We're not sure if it's really going to happen, but we want it to happen, and we're very close to making it happen. To bring a third person on for the main topic to kind of give some more context and another opinion. So all of these, we're going to take this into next week, and hopefully that person will be able to offer a different perspective from us. So that being said, let's continue through onto leaderboards. We saw an awesome tweet today from the game, but we're going to get to that in a second. Mitch, what do you think about the beta entry leaderboards? This is the first time we've seen them in the game. Obviously, we had them during Steep, but there are a few things that work well. There are a few things that are lacking, more lacking than not, I think.
Yeah, it is a beta. So, I mean, it might take a while for the leaderboards to get to where they should be. One of the things I do like is being able to select the ghost. So you can either choose the person in first place or choose people. It seems to default to people who are a little bit above you. So once you've raced it once, then the second time I went to race one, I was like 120th on the leaderboard or something. So it showed me 1 and then 110 to 120. So it was like letting me either pick my ghost to try and beat my best time, or pick the ones that were just a little bit ahead of me to try and like inch my way up, or pick number 1 and just watch him disappear on the map as soon as I start. But the biggest problem I have with the leaderboards is that you just still can't see your best score or best time without starting the event, going to the leaderboard version, picking your bike, and then picking the time to follow. And you need something like Steep, of course, but most games where when you hover over the challenge, you can see your best time and see where you rank, just so you know whether it's kind of worth your time to start it or not. Because that's what would always push me in Steep and some of the other games, is hovering over a challenge, seeing, oh, I'm like 20th right now, so I should try and work on that. I don't want to go through every challenge to find which ones I'm close.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, look, we don't like comparing riders to Steep on most things, because they are two different games. They should operate differently than one another. But when you have something really good going in one game, it's okay to port that over in some aspect. I'm not saying make it look exactly like Steep. I'm not saying make the UI function exactly how that game did. I mean, it doesn't to start. But like you said, there is so much. You open that map, you have so much real estate on your screen to be looking at the map and what is around you. They could put up a little box in the corner that shows you your times, your friends' times, local times, and then world, the world standings. Ubisoft is known for doing this in tons of games. I mean, Another one that we bring up all the time, Trackmania. They have your ranking locally, your friend ranking, your local, state, country, and then national or international rankings. Leaderboards are a big thing. We all know how to do them. They just need to be implemented a little. They need to be easier to find. In the grand scheme of it, what did you say? You said, was that 5 or 6 clicks that it takes to get to the leaderboard? It's somewhere around there. But in the grand scheme of it, that's 30 seconds that you're not playing the game just to find information that you might just be loading it up to see if you even want to ride that race. Especially, I can't even imagine the people like Call Me Jay, the people like Bones Cinematic that are actually chasing these records. And Snicks has to go in and waste 25 seconds of his session just to find the ones that he needs to reclaim. That just takes you. It's one more element that takes you away from the game, where it could very easily just be implemented onto that HUD, onto that map screen. So you can pull it up, hover over the thing. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's hit this one. Go.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's kind of weird too. I think when they made Riders Republic, it is kind of a different, I don't know, focus or idea they were going for. They were going for just this wild sports, very loose and very, fun, not taking itself seriously. But then they got the feedback that people want leaderboards in the game. And people gave them a ton of ideas on how the leaderboard should look. And then the leaderboards that are coming out in the beta right now just aren't close to that at all.
Right.
Or like with a lot of those suggestions. So it'd be nice to at least know what they plan for the leaderboards. Considering it's called a beta, it would be great if they could provide a little more, just saying, here's we know what the leaderboards are now, but this is how they work so we can test it. This is what we want to make them in the next couple of months, but we have to test it this way first.
Right. Yeah, and that is kind of what it feels like, right? They're not throwing a ton of effort into it. They're making you take 5 clicks to get to it because they don't know, in parentheses, if it's going to be something that they follow through with. It obviously will be something that they port into the game, but how that is displayed now probably won't be how it's displayed in 5 months. But yeah, it would be very nice to hear from the game, to hear from during the season updates that we get on Reddit, what their plans are for that and what the feedback has resulted in. They've been very transparent with things like that. So I think that might be something that they would give us. That doesn't give too much of the game away. That's just a functionality of the game, right? So it's not like they're going to be spoiling something that's going to bring new fans in if they say, oh, the leaderboard's going to look like this. No one's going to go look and go, man, I'm going to buy this game because that leaderboard looks sick. So I don't know. I would love to see what the devs are thinking on this, or at least hear from them before it is completed. So, I mean, the bones are there. We have the structure. We just need to put everything else around them to make it, build it out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, you enjoy leaderboards. It is kind of nice to see times and see what people are doing out there. I can't beat them, but it's nice to see.
It does, at least on my favorite challenges, give me something else to aim for. And like now that I've finished all the different specialty challenges on the race, gives me at least some reason to try them again and see, I can try and beat this time. And it's fun to watch the ghost and follow them. It's it's like when I try to play against you and we're racing, it gives you that sort of feeling. So
yeah,
it's
right.
It's a nice option. No, not everyone's going to use it. Obviously, it's one of those features like a director mode too, where it's going to be small sections of the community that use each of these features. So they will take some time, but it's fun to at least play with.
Yeah, it's nice to see. You were saying that this game is very arcadey and they wanted to take a different style and a different approach to it than the strictly competitive, or just the exploration. They wanted there to be some in between there. But the fact that they are offering this for the competitors, for those people that do want to chase points, is a very welcome thing. You were mentioning follow cams and how it's nice to ride with someone else and see how they do the lines. Just today, Riders Republic tweeted out a video of none other than Ian Hawk BMX revolutionizing the use of replays and director modes, sort of in Riders Republic. He recorded himself watching his ghost. So he had a killer run, an absolutely baller run, and then he jumped on a ghost behind him. So he had his own follow cam. So ingenuity, we're going to see, we have an edit competition coming up. This is the perfect time to implement leaderboards, because even if you're not competing for the thing, you can still use that run. Even if you're not going for the best score or the best time on that challenge, you can still use those features and use that follow feature to record runs from behind. So it's a different camera angle for the creators out there. But you still want more, right? We're really working around it. This is like very early GTA 5, where Mitch and I were doing James Bond recreations in GTA 5 with no first person camera, no way to film anything with a steady hand. So we jumped in a helicopter and we just followed the train or followed the car, whatever we were trying to get an aerial shot of. It's rough around the edges, but you can get that theme across. You can get your point across.
I remember some edits a few, months ago too, where someone else was in first person on their feet watching a rider do the trick to get some of those angles. So it's very much like those early, PS3 machinima type days where you got to use a first person camera, use what the game gives you for now to try and get some cool angles. So hoping to see some of that. I do know the rider can get a little choppy though too, even when you're just watching friends play this game. Riding around, so it's not super smooth, but I think if you get the right camera angle, it kind of makes up for that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if anyone in the director mode competition decides to use an angle like that. Maybe it'll be Ian Hawke. He already has a video out there. We'll see. The last point that we wanted to cover in today's main topic was the Ridge makeover. Mitch, it looks beautiful. I love it. Oh, I feel like I'm on a beach. I feel like I'm up at Wildwood, New Jersey on the beach, smelling French fries and stepping in sticky ice cream, punching a seagull in the face as it tries to steal my pizza. Just wonderful summer vibes. I don't know. They added some lays and some tikis and flamingos around the ridge. Does look kind of summery.
It's cool to see that kind of thing. I like all of the redos they've done. And now that they've had an in-game event where they had the march, and I believe it had some NPCs doing some stuff too. What I really want to see, I know we always come up with these ideas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But with the summer season, there needs to be someone playing steel drums in Riders Ridge. The guy that had sitting on the mountain playing drums by the relics. They need to have him hitting the steel drums. They need to do a luau night where the ridge is just dark with all the little lights. Everyone gets a Hawaiian shirt and, just hang out for the night. Like another live event. Those are the cool ones that people I would log back in for to kind of interact more and watch.
Right. I mean, and then here, I'll play devil's advocate. How many folks are playing this game compared to Fall Guys or Fortnite is known for this, where they'll have a theme night where everyone logs into the party zone or whatever, and you're with 100 other people in the server with lightsaber, whatever, and you're dancing to the rave. The Dead Mouse is performing live in Fortnite. If they could get Dead Mouse or Rez or someone like that to come into Riders, it would be interesting to see an event like that. Maybe not as in the minute, but over 3 days you could join and experience. Yeah, they are really showing that this map is dynamic and they're able to change it and roll with something very topical, very in the moment. I keep saying that every single week, but I love that aspect of the game. Keeps it fresh, something that is a little repetitive, that they're able to spruce that up, at least at the front, at the ridge. I wanted to brush briefly on the new free-for-all mode as well, Wild Rides. Ton of fun. That is a limited time limited, I believe, runs. If you haven't ran those already, please go do so. For me, I love technical races, and these race series feel steep to me. I know that that's bad to say. We shouldn't be saying that, but the fact that I forget the name of it. There's one that goes from snow sport to rocket wingsuit back to snow sport. And the snow sports sections are very technical. They're through the trees. You have to bonk off of a rock to get that right angle, that right turn, or else you're going to go off the cliff. Stuff like that, where you really have to ride the brakes and make some technical decisions there to hit all of these checkpoints. But it was a blast. It wasn't too difficult where I was, not encouraged to keep going. Never wiped out, but it was definitely a fun ride. So Wild Rides, the free for all, the time limited free for all, go check those out before they're gone. Do you have anything else that you want to bring up on summer break for now?
No, I don't think so. We talked about most of it. tread butters on skis. Or the manuals, whatever, and the nose manuals, they're just like the bikes. So it's kind of the same thing there, but they work.
Yeah, they work. That's our takeaway from summer break. It works. We will be back next week with a deeper discussion. We're going to keep playing it this week, keep getting into it, try to break some things and figure out some different things in that aspect. And like I said, we are working on having a third person join us for that discussion. So stay tuned, stick around next week, same place, same time. We will be hopefully joined by a guest to continue diving into the summer break series. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever with the game, any thoughts you'd like us to talk about next week, please let us know down below as we head to the Riders Roundup. Are you focused?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm focused, and Zerk gets focused. Whatever, we're just going to roll with it. Zerk Gets Focused has a brand new last clips of season 2 montage. This is episode 6 of their montage series. And I really tricks aside, I really like the intro scene here. We got a little Master of Time, Doctor Strange thing going on. I'm not sure if they're crossing from season 2 into season 3. I'm assuming that's what this is. But I really dig it. It's a really cool element. This reminds me of the Just Steep It and Check My Steez and all that, where we used to have those long intro sequences. I love it. Just a little bit of pre-produced can make a video.
Oh man, yeah, I miss those Just Steep It little comedy bits too, especially in the Shred the Spot. And also have a little sketch at the very end. Anyone that can use that, and I know there's no director mode, but especially when you put together something like this in a game that doesn't have it, it's even cooler. So I love the little portal effect. Can't wait to see where he goes, and can't wait to see where his tricks go too. There's several players that are actually kind of breaking up, last clips of season 2, first in season 3, end of season 3. So you get to see a nice little progression of what's possible.
Yeah. I mean, in the song choice here, there's so much attitude in this entire. That's the only word that I can really use to explain this run. There's so much attitude and steez, and just I am here, I am doing this. The camera shakes with all of the lands, all of these stomps. Huge props out to Zerk Gets Focused. Can't wait for episode 7. Go check that out. Link is down below. Moving on, we have yet another one from the one, the only Toon Squad's finest. It's Bear Nips.
Yes, and again, I love he's doing some dances in the intro and then gets right into some of these crazy trips, calling himself the Steez Bearer too. I love that nickname. We're going to have to remember that for when we see him in some of our events.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right. We usually make names for everyone else, and Bear is just carving his own path here. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Have you seen anyone else use emotes? I think this is the first edit, or just the first time in general, that I've seen someone use emotes, period.
Mm-hmm. Seen it a couple times, but okay. I can tell you I haven't seen someone use the folding bicycle to wall ride in the snowboard park. I mean, they don't even need to give us maps when the BMX bike comes out, because the people who ride the bikes are just going to use every other part of the map anyways.
Right. Yeah. These found spots are just disgusting. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And ending it in a wheelie transfer, just incredible. These two riders, some of the best that the game has ever seen, but arguably maybe the best that the game has seen so far. Will be playing in the outro today. We talked about him during this week's main topic. It seems like we're always talking. Not an episode goes by where we don't talk about Ian Hawk BMX. So please check out that video that Riders Republic shared today on all of their socials. Congrats again to Ian. We've been featured. Steep's been featured. I mean, you are in a wonderful company here. It's always a great feeling to see your content brought up by the actual game itself. So enjoy that and enjoy this montage as we close this week out. Thank you for joining us for episode 38 of our first 100 guaranteed episodes of the Riders Report.
Yes, very special thanks goes out to YouTube members, especially our executive producers, Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, and our co-producers and Fans Plus. If you want to join that cool club, just hit join down below and you'll see a lot of the cool perks that you get, including early access to the show, emojis. I think several of them now have the year badge, so it's like a golden number 1.
Yeah.
Members only video per month and much more.
Yes. Yeah. You can also just subscribe for completely free to catch all of our and stay up to date with all of the Riders Republic content that we have over here at Nick and Mitch, including the Riders Report, this show right here, and our X Games style competitions, the Tartiflet Games Director Mode coming up soon. Get those clips submitted no later than September 18th. That is a Sunday. You have 5 or 6 weeks to throw an edit together. If you don't compete for one of these awesome trophies up here above my head and right above Mitch's camera, you're playing yourself. That's all I can say. We don't have money tied into this. We don't have huge sponsor deals. You're not going to be on ESPN yet. Sorry. But we're going to send you a 3D printed medal. It's going to have the contest name on it. It's awesome. It's incredible. So please take some time. If you're already playing Riders Republic, you might as well record some of those clips, smash them together, throw some copyright free music on there, and submit your chance for one of those custom 1-of-1 Tartiflet Games medals. I have spoken a lot this week. I think it's time we go.
Yes, just end it.
Thank you for joining us yet again for another episode of the Riders Report. We'll catch you same place, same time next week for episode 39. Thank you very much. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.